Righto, welcome to the blog for Wednesday, the 12th of September. So let me just bring up the daily chart. Obviously, here we're still hanging around and grinding back up at our highs. So while the market's trying to push high like this, it's really going to slow the pace down. Price action is going to be quite slow as well. 15-minute chart, we've got a really good rejection off this solid trend line, which starts all the way back here. The market's obviously reacting to it, respecting this particular area. So seeing that rejection like that in the pre-market and coming in, certainly believe the market could push lower. It didn't have any sort of periods where it did get down. I thought, maybe point this area down here or down here. Eventually might have a go at trying to head down there, especially when it kind of had this real initial push down in the mornings and popped up and got resistance and then pushed lower again. Wasn't able to go on with it, but it's a good point that this particular area, even though it's not necessarily an area to trade, I mean, some people you could trade it, but for me it's not necessarily an actual trading area. It's a way of providing direction and where the market could be heading in the future, and saw that as a bit of a statement that the sellers are going to have a bit of a go. They certainly did, but being a buyer's market, these buyers keep on coming back, and that's sort of what happens when whatever market's currently dominating, and obviously it's the buyers. You just know at any stage they could just step in. So it is a little bit difficult to go against the overall trend, but in saying that, you just got to stick with probable areas, and if a seller is probable, by all means go for it. As far as today, again, no trades. It's 3 days without any trades. For me, personally, that's quite an inactive period. I'm someone that normally takes a trade just about every day of the week, getting up to 5 to 10 trades a week plus. So everyone's different in the way they trade, personality and style and objectives and things like that. I've got a situation where I'm getting a setup most days, so the setups haven't come the last few days. I think it's a number of reasons. Obviously, very tight price action, tight range. But I've had previous months where the price action's quite tight and still getting trade setups. It's because all of a sudden we've pushed higher and we're sort of in this new territory. So I'm yet to develop quite a few of these key levels which I've got marked in here, key support and resistance areas. So without those, I'm getting minimal trading areas. So I guess even though we're in tight range, this area needs to build up and find some solid support and resistance, and then go from there. So today just had this one level down here. We had the gap down there as well, which we never got to. But this 33, a couple of times we've bounced off it almost to the tick. So it's certainly an area that's working within the market. I think today too, 37, I watched 37. I'm interested in adding it soon. Just want to see the market react to it a little bit better. But it's certainly an area that the market reacted to. It sort of popped up here, used it as resistance to push lower. It's then they really dealt around it again, and they pushed underneath it, used it as resistance and push lower again. So it's an area the market's reacting to. The only sort of real key area that I was looking at was down around this area here. As far as the market breaking lower, I was interested in once I sort of push through this region here and all the other markets pushing down, sort of finding some sort of pivot for the market to push and break from, but we just never got any sort of I just didn't get my particular setup that I'm looking for. I thought on the 1 minute chart the best spot for it was actually here. I was looking at it this particular point here. This is a couple of ticks from the pre-market range, and all our marks are pushing through the pre-market range already, so I like to see it pop up a little bit more here, then go at it. Another spot was here, so obviously it came back and tried to break through it there as well, but just didn't really get through. But there was no actual setups there, and by the time it come back and used, say, the pre-market as resistance and looked to push lower, some of the other markets were getting quite a bounce, so I certainly wasn't going to get in there. 5 minute sell came up here, so as far as me taking the 5 minute sell as part of my system, it's not round a key level. So what it needs to be is sort of this area here. Say if there was a key level, I need to sort of see it push through, then come back and use the resistance. So there's just nothing there to really hold the market down for me. So it's an area, according to my system, that I don't take. However, as far as a trade, purely looking at the indicator and the 5 minute system that way, it was an area that definitely thought it was going to hold and push lower. I had some pretty strong faith in the sellers here and thought that they were going to go. As I said, that 15 minute chart showed some great resistance. You got a good rejection. They thought this is an area where it should hold and push down lower. Not the case, just particularly not right here anyway. And another 5 minute sell here, which it hasn't able to push. Again, it's not on that key level. for me. And then from there, quite sideways action, through these areas here, sort of, if imagine if I have got a sort of a level here at 37, which obviously I'm lacking at the moment, I want to see it push through it, come back, uses resistance and push lower, so that's when it'll start getting set up. So even back here, see it push through, come back, uses resistance, push lower. So that's my version of the 5-minute sell and sort of 5-minute fade back here, but just haven't got those areas to base it off. So for me, just not going to jump in until those areas become warrant enough for me to take a trade based on the way I do it. So yeah, tight price action, but it's just a matter of being patient. Whatever your system, whatever your approach is, you can do in times like this. If you start jumping the gun and just going looking for trades, it's sort of, I think you just do more damage than good. It's all about having a focus on the end of the year. That's what really helps. If it's just a really day-to-day or even a week or monthly focus, then you can start to all of a sudden get a bit antsy and start going looking for things. But if you have an end of year objective as your main priority, so for me it's always about end of year goals. That's obviously what matters. Before that, nothing else matters. It's all about the end of the year. I do work from month to month, set myself monthly targets. I find that a good guide, but it certainly comes second to the end of car going past, to the end of year objectives. So it's important to have that sort of focus when you're going through a bit of a period where minimal trades are coming up. So that's a wrap up for Wednesday, back Thursday.